Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Ancestor League 3.22. In this episode, I'm going to be going over my league starter for 3.22. To give you guys some great news, we actually are going to just run the exact same league starter from last season. So, the 9-point power spark, the 15 leech, all this stuff. I'm not going to go through it with as much detail as I did in the last one. If you want to check out that, you can check out the 3.21 league starter, but it's all here. It's so good. It's so refined. It even has the new mana mastery tech from last season. And it's really good. I'm really proud of it. And I can't wait to use it myself all the way up. And then instead, what we're going to do for the rest of the video now is go through a bunch of actual, POBs from last season of my progress. And you can see, exactly what I went for and what I bought. And I can give some recommendations of gear upgrades. Alright, so then with the use of PoE Ninja, we can pull up the exact character and then the POB and the tree and everything, and the gems and everything. I was actually running at level 85 last season. So I did also make videos of my daily updates of the last season, but to now look back after the whole season and to review what it was on these updates of each day for the first week is pretty cool. Okay, so +1 minion wand with some minion damage and attack speed. Then I had a shield with +1 minion and mana, minion damage and res. No +1 on the helmet yet. We had a 5-link chest. And then we have this was just dex, cold res, lightning res, very, very bad. This was just tiny bit of life and res, super bad. It was a 4-link. 4-link. So I had max a 5-link, but then I'll show you the skills. The 5-link in the body was not even a 5-link, so I was on 4 links. I was 4-link, 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 85. It's so sick, because then you could just trade and buy shit, but I was fine. So Wanderlust, wool shoes cannot be frozen, and then I think I was using the Pantheon to make you stun immune. And then you could get the freeze immune after through the ascendancy. I mean, through the Pantheon or through your flask, but I didn't have it yet. So I was using Wanderlust even at 85, and then Carnage Heart was just attributes and res, and then this was just res, mana. This was mana, LE res, and cold res, and then I actually had a Stygian Vice with an Abyss socket, and with strength, life, res. This is really good. How the hell? I think I might have rolled it with an essence, a deafening essence, and then life, mana, minion life, and minion damage on a ghastly jewel's pretty good. This could have also been minion damage when you use a skill recently, minion attack speed. You could get armor, obviously fizz damage, minion LE res, minion chaos res. There's so many options. Taunt, blind, minion taunt blind, minion, yeah. And then I had an instant life recover flask with bleed immune, really important in the build. The enduring mana with curse remove, and I had avoid ignite, and I had reduce effective shock. It wasn't perfect, but that's what I was running for now, and it was quartz granite, and then quicksilver, just a rocket. The Carnage Chieftains would give you frenzy charges, which make this last longer. It's kind of cool with the onslaught. Yeah. Oh, and then final 7,000 armor, 50 move speed, 3k life, 500 regen already. It's pretty okay. Some evasion, could have had more of everything, obviously, but that was just the day 2 is gonna look way crazier after this. Watch this. If you've ever used my league starter, then like the video, and if you guys like the video and you guys are new to the channel, then hit that subscribe button so you guys are notified of the next league starter. Come on. All right, we got to day 2. We updated. So the build fills out quite nicely. We got an extra 600 HP, an extra 7,000 armor. It's huge. We lost our evasion, but that's basically just base. So now I'll show you this in the thing. But we still have the Carnage Heart. Still that Stygian Vice because it was that good. And yeah, that was the day 1 was just a 4-link, so at 85. So now we're 90. So in 5 more levels, I did get the 6-link corrupted. It was armor, life, cold res, lightning res, and then I realized that I know why the life one was cheap now, because there's a mastery to get 15% increased max life if your chest has no life modifiers. So they actually made this so that you could get a corrupted chest without life, and then that could get the 15% max life, which is huge. It's like 3 points on the tree, like in this wheel. Boom, boom, boom. And it's because I got the 22 life, I couldn't take it. So this was pointing out how at that time I actually made a mistake. But it's a 6 link, so it's an upgrade. Cold res, lightning res, and then the wand, +1 still. Same wand. Same wand. I got a +2 minion helmet. Huge. Massive. And then to have the 6 link as well. And then our 6 link is zombie. And I ran Maim in the 6 link for the slow. I probably will do this again for Blight, because the slow is really good at Blight to help you succeed. And then the 6 link, and then just res glove with armor, huge. Armor helmet, armor chest plate. You can see how much armor this is. It's a lot. I think I'm missing quality on some of this. Oh no. Or it just doesn't say in POB, I'm not sure. But I'm probably missing the quality. And then yeah, some chaos res finally. So we got up to 32. You need more, but this is good. And then 30 move speed boot, and we got the regen from the lab. You don't need it, but that's one of the good ones. And the move speed's the other good one. The carnage heart still XD. Dude, it's got some nice attributes and Ellie res. I was using it. So then unset rings, life, chaos res, and we had life, mana, res. Same belt with the same ghastly. So then we still have the same life flask, but then we got immune to ignite, increased duration on a granite. This was a ruby with the immune to ignite, and then we had avoid shock on quartz, and we had a reduced effective shock on the quicksilver. So this isn't ideal, but this is what I was running. You could have instead. Well, this was yeah, I was really scared of shock, but I'd rather be immune to shock, and not have either of these then. But then the duration, and that's why the immune is on this one, because it had a longer duration, and I got increased duration. And then had increased duration, and I had increased duration, I had reduced charges. So you can see I just go for good stuff. Yep. Oh, and we actually had jewels at this point, so it was minion damage, minion LE res, and this was with unset ring, so no bone ring. I was using minion LE res, and then I had minion taunt, minion attack speed, minion fizz, and I had minion LE res, life, taunt, minion fizz. So I replaced the bone ring with 2 jewels in the beginning, because we were doing zombies, and you don't use like golem jewels for zombies, so you can actually fit jewels in the build. Technically the minion LE res from the cobalt jewels higher than the ghastly jewels, so that's more effective at doing that. But I'm pretty sure this was cheap, and I got taunt. Like it was really good. Extra taunt. Taunt was apparently bugged, where it wasn't reducing the damage of the target when it was your minion instead of you, but now it will work, so this should be even better next season. 10% reduced damage or something. So we have day 392, and let me show you some of the stuff we have. You can see I changed quite a bit. Let's get into it. Quite a bit changed. Alright, so now we're at 62 chaos res, 16k armor, 4k life, 600 regen. Okay, and then we had same wand, same shield, +2 hum, but a new chest. You can see now we had crazy resist, fizz damage reduction, a lot of armor, and we start to get to reroll the implicits with Eldritch Currency. I started to add Eldritch Currency to the gear because it just free bonus implicits doesn't, and then you might hit something that's decent. I wasn't going for these specifically, like block and max fire and the fizz take and recoup, but they're not bad, so I didn't re-roll them. Same rings, same ball. So I'm just farming, dude. I'm just farming. My build was fine going in, except for, oh yeah, everything's good. We kept everything the same. We just kept farming all the way to 92. Next. So then this is where I had decided a couple big upgrades, like the amulet became a +1 with attributes, and then we also put in a cluster, and I decided to do a 12 passive with the minion attack speed 3 and the 35 increased. So, and it's a 12 point. So then I took the whole thing, and we invested like a shit ton of points into this. And then I also put the jewels in here, the quickening and the fortress, and then we were being chilling, we're laughing. It's so much damage in just this, and we still had the +1, +1, +2, and then, yeah, similar items, but we invested in the jewels because that's just like an end game good large cluster, right? And these are just good unique jewels. So uh later I actually replaced the I realize we don't need these, and we do end up using this, but there are alternatives that you can do instead of this as well, but this is what I went for last season, and that's what I invested in. Oh, and then we switched this to a life minion attack speed dex jewel because the one I had wasn't that great. And we still were using the minion LE res. We actually did more cobalt minion LE res jewels instead of doing the abyss jewels like I said, and we cut the ghastly jewels of taunt eventually. Yeah, and then the flask became well, I'm still running the shock shit. It was okay because when you reduce the effective shock by a lot, like it's not a big shock anymore no matter what, as long as that flask is on. And this one, you just don't even get shocked half the time, like, but it's not consistent for sure, but softcore viable. This is day 5, trust me. And then we got 90, last one was 93, this is 94, and then we got +2s with minion damage. I think I rolled that. It was disgusting. And then I also got that one. Yeah, I got a base with the crit, and then I rolled it, and I hit like T3 minion damage with the +2 and the minion crit, and I used this for like most of the season, honestly. It was day 5. Oh no. Oh no. Dude, the game liked our upgrade in day 4 of this shit, our investment, and it was like, boom, here you go. So yeah, that was a big upgrade. I anointed my amulet with fearsome force. How long did that take me to anoint my amulet? One sec. Okay, so in last season, it took me till day 5 to anoint the amulet. I think we're gonna anoint it faster this time, earlier, because we'll have, um, we're doing blight, and then we'll have the oils, and then this is just teal, azure, crimson. It's really cheap. That's why I picked this. It's a lot of crit, and then you have the base crit, and it's a lot of crit multi, and it's a lot of damage in a single point. Especially how it takes you, like, these are 20, and this is the extra crit strike chance too. It's huge. Huge point. And it's cheap. That's the main thing. There's a lot of the other ones. You actually want the whole thing. They've reduced the notable power and put it into the path, if you remember the change. And so you actually want all that. True. Okay, back to the... So yeah, we got the disgusting wand. So from a disgusting cluster with the unique jewels to upgrading the wands. And then I think I kept everything else basically the same. The flasks are still the shock. Pog. So massive. Massive updates day 6. We put in a small cluster with mana reservation, so the triple with the increased effect of 35, so they were actually 6 per, going with the 35 up to like 8, sorry. And then, so it's 24 for the whole thing. It's like the same thing as the charisma wheel. And then I also anointed charisma, so golden opalescent on this amulet, the same amulet I upgraded the anoint on the next day. And then the other thing, there was, so that took up the jewel socket, so I had to use this jewel socket, because this kills notables and converts them, so we made sure to use it in an area that we don't have any that we're using, and it doesn't kill grave intentions, but we're not doing that. Anyways, so then, items, ring, this was life, res, and then we got a bone ring, so minion LE res, and then it had damage, minion move speed, minion attack speed, and I crafted life. It's really good. Fractured minion damage, like what? Okay. And then I still had a cobalt for a minion Ellie res. And then we added back taunt and chaos res, and it had life and attack speed and minion fizz damage and attack and lightning damage. This is a 6.6 mod ghastly jewel that drops from the like you know, the Atlas tree passive that makes the jewels sometimes drop corrupted out of the abyss, and then it can have 6 mods instead of 4. So I bought that. Disgusting. And then we also had hinder, so that the demon harpy scream would slow the monsters down for blight, like how I told you about maim. Similar hinder, but for spells instead of attacks. And then that's really nice, and so is the taunt, and really good. Added it back because it was really helpful. And then you can see chaos res cap now, 19k armor, 4.1 life, 700 regen. So when you look at this stuff, this still helmet, obviously the wands are going to be, oh, we got aggressive wand on this one. This is where it happened. So up to this day, I was just, I think, using my minions normally, and then you could put Feeding Frenzy in the 6 link for the zombies the whole time. And I'll also be posting all these POBs so you guys can check them out as well. But yeah, minions are aggressive fracture, and I got the +2, and I had an open prefix for the minion damage. So it was day 6 that I got minions are aggressive fracture, and then we also capped our chaos res to 75. We upgraded the boot and added these implicits with Eldritch Currency. Technically, I think Brittle Ground is better for the base crit. But we rolled sap ground, and it's pretty rare, and it's actually pretty good still. So I did that, and then it's chaos res, life, move speed. Really great boot. It looks like a ROG boot. I didn't do it, but I bought it, and it looks like someone rolled that shit in ROG. And then the belt got upgraded to a chaos res belt. So I did this with essence, I'm pretty sure. The deafening essence of envy for the 35, but the other ones I'm pretty sure I bought them. And then, yeah, you can actually see where I did the chest plate upgrade a while ago after I mentioned I made that mistake with the 21 life on the first chest. And I actually have been, on like every other day, been running the 15% increased max life for having no life modifiers on the equipped body. So it's really cool. Really cool. That mod is amazing, and it allows you to use some what would be used to be bad chests are now the best, because that's such a good mod. Goddamn, life is sick. I can't believe this. My week 1 actually saved as this, so I'll show you what I mean by that. I had made a meme where you wear the albert, because they also changed it this season to where you can only summon 1 now, when I was summoning like 4 at a time with permanent skellies. So anyway, permanent skelly. If you didn't know, Alberon's warpath was changed, now permanent skelly. And then last season we had Crucible, which you won't see the mod here, but basically it had some crazy skelly mod with like crazy conversions. It made the skelly do all 3 Ellie damage types as fizz. It was doing like triple Ellie damage basically. And then I made a 1 link, and where it would apply with the triple Ellie damage, Secrets of Suffering. So the fizz would get extra Ellie, and then the Ellie would do Secrets of Suffering to do brittle and sap and scourge. Obviously, you then want to be an LE build because you're reducing their stuff, their elemental res, and then you want to be crit because you have the brittle, and sap's just good for the less damage or whatever. But I can't believe it actually saved this. I was running that for a little bit, yeah, to have those extra memes in there. It was actually probably like really strong if you fully committed to just Skelly, but then they have trouble surviving, and then it would be a Blessed Rebirth build, and then it's not really permanent Skellies, and then this is a 1 link to do Secrets of Suffering, so you'd have to do like giga damage for this to actually work. And then what are you buffing? Yeah, but it saved it, and it shows it, and then that's literally the only change in this. I was running elemental skeletons with all the cool ailments. Week 2 is a huge update because it's an entire week. Like you think of what I did in the first week, then this is the second. So, uh, a disgusting wand +2. It's like T3 minion damage. The T1 crit and T1 crit. And then the aggressive wand. I didn't upgrade apparently. We got a new helmet with +2 life, strength, res, and crafted +1 extra zombie. And then implicits, I rolled them, so it's one off of perfect mana reservation. So that's the Eldritch currency. This is Ichor's, and then the minion move speed was from the red one. Then the chest, I also rolled the implicits finally with Eldritch currency. So I finally said, okay, I like these pieces of gear. Let's invest some currency into the Eldritch implicits. Rolled Pride Aura Effect and Aura Effect. This is great. Really good. And then even this one, Suppression, Max Cold Res. Really good. It's a life Chaos Res Fracture with extra reses and minion damage crafted. It's a prefix craft. And then I still had the Sap Ground, same boot. Could have rolled Brittle at this point, I think. But Sapped was fine. And that's the same ring. Oh, you can see I have Burning Ground and the Empower Tower range. I think I've had that for the first 2 weeks. I didn't use the Ice one. Because I wasn't doing Uber Blight. I was doing more like normal Blight. And our build was good. And it's still the Taunt Jewel, because that Jewel was disgusting. And I tried to fracture my 12 passive Jewel, the 35% effect with the 3 move speed, and I missed it. Got armor. Rest in peace. When did I add the... Was it week 1 or week 2? Did I add the Dread Marches? One sec. So week 2 got massive changes to my tree. Added another cluster. And then it was the large renewal Rotting Claws Vicious Bite. Then we added 2 mediums, Dread March Renewal, Dread March Renewal. And if I had done Feasting Fiends in this as one of the nodes instead of Renewal, then I don't need the Leech node Mastery, but for now I kept it. And we ran this Jewel, Brutal Restraint, to get the extra dex from the travel, and the extra minion damage, and the extra minion damage. And the extra minion damage. So it's a 60 minion damage Brutal Restraint. It's 2528 in the Ascendeth Marikath. Yep. There you go. And it's, yeah, so 60 minion damage, and it gave me the dex. Like, so show you 151. There's a lot of dex and the minion damage. It's like, oh, that's a really good Jewel. And yeah, still life, very strong. And then, yeah, we added the mediums for the phase damage reduction, the chaos res, keep our minions alive. And then we also had the blind hinder here. Blind for the reducing evasion of the enemy. Since we weren't using Grave Pact. I think this one was when I swapped out of Grave Pact, and then we did the extra large cluster, so we had to make up a bit of the accuracy, so using some blind to lower the enemy's evasion is also effective. This... Where is it? Blinded. 20% evasion. See? And it reduces their accuracy, which could help your own evasion be more effective, which I was actually running Grace instead of Determination in week 2. And let me check week 1 if I was running Grace or Determination. It seems to be Determination, yeah. So after a while I switched because I find it effective with Dreadbanner and with the blind, but then you randomly will get hit for a big fizz hit, so be warned of that. Oh, and then the final thing, in week 1 we were 95, and then by week 2 we're already 98. So that's GG, dude. Looks pretty good. Pretty satisfied. No spell suppression. Well, 15, not much in the 15 block. Not like actually building it. It was just the evasion and some armor. 4k life, 800 regen is really nice. Oh, and I just didn't show it. It was actually in the week one where I had the Alberons. So it was on the website. I actually did fix the flask already, and it was a topaz with the immune to shock. Because that it has the longer duration. You can see 7 with the 20 of 50 instead of doing where you have. This is even with increased duration. You can see it lasts just as long with the 42 less against granite, and the granite only has 16 increased, and this one had 31 increase. So 7 8.2, and that's with the 42 less, like I said, and then the armor, and I had the LE res and the immune to ignite. Yeah, and then you can see, this is why the res was so high in the week 1 and week 2, because it was showing the flash on. So it has all the extra LE res. I wanted to clear that up just in case for people. And then I would upgrade this a lot sooner, to be honest. It's so cheap and so much better than the avoid shock and the reduced effect. You're immune. You're immune. So if you made it to this part of the video, then I hope this has helped you to be more prepared for the next season by seeing what I actually did last season and going through it and seeing it all in one, and then with my review of it. And overall, would I do anything different? Well, I pointed out some of the stuff, like the life on that corrupted chestplate in the first place, where I would have had the extra 15 max life mastery the whole time, and which is just amazing. Legion jewels, timeless jewels are really good, so I'll probably make a video on how to find a good one, because it's kind of complicated using this button, and then that'll be separate. And overall clusters were really important. I should have got it a bit sooner, I think, and the wand upgrade could have been a bit sooner without needing to go for the really crazy, and I also probably could have done my Eldritch Currency sooner on my gear. Maybe not like the high perfectly rolled Eldritch Currency, but even like just a lesser, where some of those were like completely useless for days, where I could have rolled at least anything. And then like also in the beginning, using an oil anoint early would have been really valuable. So those are the main takeaways and improvements that I notice. You can speed up a few of the categories, and then even my flask could have been improved sooner. We finally got LE res, immune to shock, evasion, ignite immune, and we're still using the bleed flask instant, so that's great. This is extra res cap, obviously. We're super res cap. It's for all the scorch and exposure and curses. It's insane. It's actually insane. But either way, yeah. So as a final note to the video, I want to say that I would like to leave ourselves open to as like the new stuff, and yeah, I usually like to play, actually like get in there, figure shit out, and then some stuff just comes naturally where as you're playing you realize like, oh, I could improve this or that. So then I just want to get in there, play the game, and try out the new stuff. And I feel like the combos and stuff may be insane with the new tattoos, like how you can change your tree. It sounds pretty fun. One honored tattoo to change notable. Goddamn. I would like to thank my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support the channel. Thank you guys so much for the support. Rico549, David, Stephen with a PH, Stephen with a V, Cynic, Hannes, Lewis, Nicholas, White Wolf, and N8. Thank you guys so much for the support. Bye!